It is 9 o'clock in New York. Another 15 states have just finished voting. This is the heat of the matter here. The Fox News decision desk says it's too early to call Michigan one of the two battlegrounds in the Rust Belt that just finished voting, part of that blue wall that we hear about all the time.
The other is Wisconsin, where Vice President Harris and former President Trump appear to be locked in a very tight race. And again, this is too early, not too close, but too early to call many of these races. Arizona also too early to call as the polls are closing there.
Fox News can project that former President Trump will win Texas. That locks 40 more electoral votes into his column. Former president also has a lead in Iowa. There's no call at the top of the hour here. Remember that Iowa poll had people scrambling there at the Des Moines Register saying it was Harris lead by 3.
Yeah, the same day Emerson had him up by 10, but that got a lot of people's attention because Ann Seltzer is such a well-known and usually correct pollster. So we'll see how Iowa plays out tonight. In Nebraska, the Fox News decision desk can project that Trump will win the statewide vote. Nebraska gives 2 electoral votes to the winner of the state and 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their districts. So Trump will also win Nebraska's 1st and 3rd districts, the more suburban 2nd district, Omaha, which is the blue dot that we have talked so much about. That is too early to call, but Harris has a lead there.
The Fox News decision desk can project that Vice President Harris will win New York, giving the vice president 28 more electoral votes. She also has a lead in Minnesota. Too early to call the state of Minnesota, which closed in recent days, according to the polling.
Obviously, the vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz, from Minnesota, and now Fox News can project a Harris victory in Colorado as well. She gets 10 more electoral college votes there. New Mexico, too early to call, but Harris has a lead, according to our Fox News voter analysis in New Mexico.
Former President Trump will win Louisiana, which has voted for a Republican in every election this century. Pretty sure we were going to get that one. Trump also wins Kansas, adding another 6 electoral votes to his tally.
The former president will win North Dakota, a longtime conservative state as well. He will also take South Dakota, which often mirrors the vote of its neighbor to the north.
And Fox News can project that the former president will win Wyoming, with 3 electoral votes. So there you see the tally on your screen, 178 electoral votes to 113. That map of the U.S. is slowly filling in, and we will continue to bring that to you throughout the night as we make more calls.
So moving to the Senate and back to the Rust Belt as well, the Fox News decision desk say it is too early to call this race, which we've been watching between incumbent Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin, who is in a close race now with Republican banker and entrepreneur Eric Hovde.
Michigan Senate race also too early to call. Former GOP Congressman Mike Rogers competing against current Democratic House Representative Alyssa Slotkin. In Arizona, Democratic House Representative Ruben Gallego has a lead on Republican candidate Kari Lake, also too early to call out there.
Let's go to Nebraska, and there are 2 Senate races on the ballot today, and the race between incumbent Deb Fischer and independent Dan Osborne is close to call and too early to call, I should say, according to our decision desk. Fox News can project that Republican Pete Ricketts will continue to serve as a Nebraska senator.
In Texas, 2-term Senator Ted Cruz is locked in a close race against current Democratic Congressman Colin Allred. Too early to call that race, according to the decision desk, but they can project that Minnesota's Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar will sail to a 4th term.
New York Democratic Senator Kristen Gillibrand will win another term in the Empire State, and Democrats will hold their seat in New Mexico, where Senator Martin Heinrich defeats Republican Nella Domenici.
Daughter of the late Senator Domenici. Yes. North Dakota's GOP Senator Kevin Cramer will easily win a 2nd term. And in Wyoming, Senator John Barrasso will also win re-election as he serves as the chair of the Senate Republican Conference.
So let's take a look at how the Senate is stacking up at this hour, 9:04 on the East Coast, and we have 46 Republicans. The one flip, which we have mentioned, is West Virginia, waiting for other states that are on the bubble and close and early at this point in the night. 37 Democrats are hanging on to their seats in the United States Senate.
I think this is like where everything starts to gel.
Exactly.
And we start to get more of the hard numbers.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.